Hello survivors and welcome to another Walking Dead Road to Survival video, and in this video we're going to be taking a first look at League's Season 11 character, and it's going to be Jason. Now, same question as always, comic buffs out there. I think this guy's going to be an RTS character. I've never heard of this character. In terms of how he looks like a construction worker with a hell of a beard. That's some hell of a beard. What is this style? I'm not even sure what's going on. It's like some crazy extended mutton chops like Wolverine advanced levels. I don't even know what's going on here, but he is very unique. We haven't seen sort of characters that look like this, except I think there was a character in the Oceanside story missions that was like a construction worker, and I think we had to save him at one point, but it wasn't this dude, it was some other guy. But this is going to be an S-class character, obviously. Other season store character, which is Ivanova, who is still in this season and available for 7 more days if you want to pick her up. We'll look at Jason, however. He has got 3,485 attack, 4,780 defense, and 3,880 HP. He is a tough character, and his role is considered damage. His adrenaline rush is called Grizzly Burst Fire. It is a 76 AP cost rush, and it deals 800 bleed damage and stun to one enemy for 4 turns. All adjacent enemies get 50% heal reduction for 2 turns. So obviously 2 things going on here. There is an adjacent here, so it does affect quite a lot of people, but 2 things going on. One character is going to get effectively taken out of the game with a 4-turn stun. They're also going to take bleed damage. Not a huge amount of bleed damage in the S-Class era. 800 is not that big, but a 4-turn stun is very powerful, especially if someone doesn't have a stun resist. You know it's always going to land, and the best thing about this is the speed of his rush. You can just keep that character just locked away. They will never take a turn if you really want them to. Adjacent characters, that means characters that are next to them. So if you go for the character in the middle of a raid defense, for instance, every character will get this. If you go for a corner, only 3 characters will get it. So on and so forth. If characters are downed, they will not be debuffed, obviously. Now, 50% heal reduction is not fantastic. It will stop things like some of the weapon boosts, like the tough weapons that give bonus HP at the end of each turn, the fast weapons that give normal HP at the end of each turn, and it will stop that sort of stacking really ridiculously high. It will help if you've got high-end infection, for instance, you've got Minerva or you've got Dayu. It will not really help too much on the low-end infection because 50% heal reduction, you know, a lot of the low-end infection is like 15 to 25%, and even if you are reducing heals by 50%, it's still going to heal quite a lot of HP there. So it's not that big a deal for helping infection. It's more to try and reduce the counter to what bleed damage can do. Bleed damage is obviously damage over time, and then heal, there are a lot of heal weapons that are heal over time, which are trying to like to and fro, back and forth, and you're trying to reduce that as much as possible. That's pretty much what that's in there for. He has also got bleed on his active, and it's just called bleed. It has got an initial cooldown of 1, cooldown of 4, so it's got quite a long cooldown. You can use it 5 times, but the initial cooldown is quite nice. That means you can use it first turn on an attack team, and it deals 1200 bleed damage to one enemy for 4 turns. Now, that's really nice to get off the bat straight away. If you have this guy in conjunction with another Lacerator, he can do this active skill, and a Lacerator can just attack that, and it instantly goes to 2,400 bleed, which is going to be extremely powerful on an attack team, just being able to get that up straight away. Not many people run bleed resist, so this is going to be nice. I like this quite a lot. Obviously, he's not going to get any AP on his active skill, so that is a downside. But I'd still say this, generally speaking, if you are running a Lacerator with Jason, it is actually a good way to go. And the bonus is it lasts 4 turns. So the first turn, 1,200, you can double it that first turn with a second Lacerator. Then the next turn, it goes to 4,800. Then it goes to 9,600. So it's like huge amount of damage output within those first 3 to 4 turns, and any character pretty much is going to get taken out. Now, if you use characters like Wang Fa with Jason, and obviously Jason being tough, Wang Fa can easily be used in any teams that he'd be used in. 100% heal reduction on his active. There's no way of really recovering from that in the first couple of turns, and that should be a guaranteed takedown, considering there's no one really who runs bleed resist, like I said. There are obviously going to be issues around this. For instance, characters like the Trader going to have natural resist on his resilient. That's pretty much the only full-on counter that you're going to have to this sort of active skill. Now, I've been saying another Lacerator because obviously the specialist skill for Jason is Lacerator, and it makes a lot of sense. He's got a lot of bleed going on with his rush, with his active skill, and he is a Lacerator. So I think that's pretty cool. I think having a Lacerator specialist skill is a massive bonus. It is one of the more fun and enjoyable and kind of exciting specialist skills out there. Even though I don't think his rush output is huge, his active is kind of nice. The Lacerator on his special skill obviously just increases his value instantly, just in terms of what he can add to certain teams. And that team up that I said before with someone like Wang Fa, obviously Wang Fa has Hemorrhage on his rush, and Jason here can double that. So the combo between those two characters is going to be absolutely mental. If you've got Wang Fa already, even as a 6-star, you're going to have a lot of fun. Lacerators are good in a couple of places in the game. You know, Faction Assault, for instance, great fun, great usage. You can build a quite nice onslaught team with this guy because of the bleed on the active skill, and the Lacerator, obviously you can take down people quite easily that way. If you want to get those no rush wins in, this character could be quite useful there. And if I'm honest, against certain defense teams, I think Jackie defense teams, as long as there's not too many traders there, this could work too. So I think he's a pretty solid character. I don't think he's better than Ivanova, but that's mainly because Ivanova allows you to use other characters in the roster that are extremely strong. You know, like your Aravs on attack with an attack bonus lead, and the attack bonus active from Ivanova massively boosts him, and he's so powerful. So Ivanova is more of a support character. I see Jason as more of actual damage dealer. With the right combos, could be pretty good. Now, he doesn't have an attached weapon. He is just going to have a default weapon, so you're going to have to come up with some ideas of what you could use for the weapon in his hands. But I think you'll be pretty safe to just stick with like impair weapons, be it impair on attack or impair on defense. And going for something like the top tier team player upgrade once you make it a 4-star weapon. The 5% bonus HP per turn for each tough character on the team. If you have him with Wang Fa, that's obviously going to be boosted to 10%. With more tough characters, even more. So I think that would be quite good to just get his bonus HP up a bit. It's not going to counter things like infection, and it's not going to counter bleed itself, but it will counter straight like flat damage, so that could be nice. It could be a nice little combo there. Now, in terms of actually getting Jason, it is going to change in this season's store just a little bit. There is a big update when it comes to the season store. I'll make a separate video to this, but I will break down the sort of changes that are going to come to this season store when it comes to Jason. As it says here, it says the League campaign missions, new promotion rewards. In addition to rank rewards, all players who receive promotions into Gold 2 and higher will now receive additional guaranteed promotion rewards via new League campaigns missions as follows, including new League's exclusive S-Class Jason. And it does appear that Jason's not going to be a straight-up S-Class, how Ivanova was this time round. He's going to be an epic character, and then you can get legendary Jason as well. So you will have to level up one 5-star to 6-star, and then you'll have to level up another 6-star, and then you'll have to get the remaining cards required, which will be 6,000. So we'll just go through the rewards. It looks like if you're in Gold 2, you'll get epic Jason. If you're in Gold 3, you'll get epic Jason and legendary Jason. And then if you're in Platinum 1, you'll get the Jasons, and then 2,000 cards. Platinum 2, you'll get an extra 2,000 cards on top of that. And then if you're in Platinum Division 3, you'll get all the required S-Class Jason cards and Legendary Jason and the Epic Jason. As it says, all players who reach Platinum Division 3 during Season 11 will be able to fully claim S-Class Jason. Note that S-Class Jason will be redeemable in the museum, and that additional S-Class Jason cards will be made available in the Season Store in future seasons. Also note that Epic, Legendary and S-Class Jason will require Letterman jackets and baseball caps to tier up. So it does appear that we'll actually need more Letterman jackets and baseball caps to tier up Jason than we did to tier up Ivanova, because Ivanova was just an S-Class. Unless they reduce the amount of Letterman jackets and baseball caps required for Jason as an S-Class, it will actually be more overall. So Jason overall, I mean, he has quite good defensive stats as well, so you could potentially team him up with certain characters, maybe even on a defense team, but he doesn't really add anything in terms of good, like, high level of control. And generally on a defense team, you either want someone who's going to have some sort of sustain, like heals, that sort of thing, buffs, or control. And his heal reduction is not really that much to speak of, and it's not really going to make that big a difference to an attack team. I see him more as an attack team character that's going to have just some nice synergy with certain characters. So that's Jason, that's how to acquire him. Things are going to be changing in the leagues. I'll bring you more information on the full changes in another video. But do tell me what you think about Jason as a character. Is he the kind of character that you'd actually like to get and use? That is the end of my video. Thank you very much for tuning in. And as always, keep on surviving, guys. Keep on surviving.